I'm going to make an assumption here, and I hope this is an okay question. I'm going to assume that you agreed to do the movie BASEketball because Al Michaels was also doing it. Like, if they said it was just you, you wouldn't have felt as comfortable doing it.
100%. Al and I had no way of knowing that almost a decade later, we'd be working together at NBC on Sunday Night Football. We had been friends for a while, but we'd never worked together, and we talked about it. Now, they sent the script to my agent, and my agent was an older guy, meaning he was close to as old as I am now. But I was in my 40s, and I thought I was much hipper. So he reads the script. He goes, I wouldn't do this if I were you. And I go, wait a minute. This is the Zucker brothers. This is Airplane. This is The Naked Gun.
Right.
This is going to be great.
Right.
Okay. And so Al says, yeah, if you'll do it, I'll do it. So we do it, and we shot it on the last day of filming. Everything else was in the can. We never crossed paths with the South Park guys. We never crossed paths with any of the other sports people who were in it. It was just the two of us. But what we did was essential to the movie because it tied a lot of it together.
Absolutely.
So Al, after we finished the first 3 or 4 hours of taping, and we did it all in one day, they break for lunch, and Al says, I don't think this is very good. I say, come on, it's fine. Plus, it's a decent payday.
Yeah,
goes,
right.
What?
You're getting paid for this?
He goes, what are you getting? I said,
oh, boy.
What are you getting?
Uh-oh.
And if you know Al, he doesn't need the change. He doesn't need the money.
Just wants to be right there with you.
Very competitive.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, let's flip a coin. Whoever loses has to go first.
Uh-oh.
So I lose, and I tell him what I'm getting. It's 5 times what he's getting.
No.
Okay. He is apoplectic.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And he calls his agent and says, you get me what Costas is getting, or I walk. The Zucker brothers, who loved us up until that point, right? The Zucker brothers are like, hey, he signed a contract. That's that. Michael says, fine, I'm leaving. Whoa, wait a minute. We have no movie. We already shot half of this with both of you in it. They came back, and not only did they match what I was getting, they gave him a little bit more, sort of like Al's version of punitive damages for emotional distress or whatever. So when the movie first came out, I was very embarrassed by it. I don't think it did much business. I think it was, in what was then the Blockbuster store by about a month after it was released. But the trailer included the infamous line, "You're excited. Feel these nipples." Okay. That happened to be my line. Now, Al, by the way, had a bunch of lines in the movie that would never fly today.
Right. The age of the cheerleader one. And actually, your reaction without any dialogue was the perfect thing. You just kind of go, whoa.
Right. You nailed that. That's exactly what it was. Al, hard to believe that only a few weeks ago, the Milwaukee Bears, were in 5th place. Yes, and hard to believe only a few weeks ago, these cheerleaders were in the 5th grade. That shuts everything down today.
He said that. You didn't have to at least have to say that. He had to say that. That's his voice, which still sounds the same beautifully. But that's captured forever now. But it was funny back then. Definitely was.
Yeah, and so now I find out. So I'm embarrassed, but my son, now 38, was 12 when that came out. And he and his friends thought this was the greatest thing ever. They loved it. They also loved Pootie Tang, which I stumbled into a few years after that. And now I realize that BASEketball has a certain cult following. I view it very differently through the rearview mirror than I did at the time.
You know what? It'll live on forever, and in a fun way. It was a slice of life at that time.